Hey guys, what's going on? This is Steven from Steven's Car Reviews, and today I'm doing a review on this 2017 Jaguar XE35T R Sport. So here's the key. A typical modern day Jaguar Land Rover key. You have your lock, your unlock, your light button, your trunk, and then your hazards. So let's go ahead and unlock the car. Now this car does have smart key access, so by putting your hand behind the door, it unlocks, and by pressing it, it locks, and the mirrors fold and unfold. On the outside, this car is finished in a rhodium silver metallic paint. Then on the inside, it's finished in jet with light oyster top stitch. So let's go ahead and start her up. Put your foot on the brake and hit the stop start button. While we're at it, let's turn on our hazards, the headlights, and the rear fog light. Let's go ahead and check out the outside. Up front, this Jaguar has bi-HID headlights with the LED daytime running light and incandescent turn signals. Moving down below, you have the aggressive bumper, which is a part of the R Sport package. And this car does have the black package, so everything in the front is blacked out, including the grille surround and the splitters in the front aprons. Moving closer, you have your Jaguar emblem in your front camera. Moving to the wheels here, you have two 3540 R19s with some blacked out double 5-spoke rims. Then slightly above, you have your R Sport and your side grille, side vent accenting there. You can really see the side sill of the car and the lines going down. Because this car is an R Sport, you have black around your windows. See up top, you have a pretty nicely sized sunroof, not quite panoramic. And here you can get a real good look at that line that goes into the back. In the rear here, we have 255/35 R19s. Coming around back, real pretty in the rear end here. We have these LED accented rear lights with incandescent turn signals and brake lights. You have a small lip spoiler. Then moving down, you have your blacked out portion on your bumper with your dual exhausts. Here on the inside of the left tail light, you can see your rear fog light, your Jaguar emblem, and then your camera in the back. Up top here, you have your shark fin antenna, which looks really sharp. And once again, this is just a very beautiful car. The design of the car is amazing. Very beautiful. LED turn signals in the mirrors here. First, under the hood, you have a big 3-liter supercharged V6 producing 340 horsepower, 332 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed ZF transmission. Now, there are several different 0 to 60 times for this car. Jaguar Land Rover reports 5.1 seconds, but Car and Driver has tested 4.5, and it's just been all in between. But it's a pretty fast engine, and you never are lacking for power or torque. On the door, you have more of that jet leather with the light oyster contrast stitch. A really cool 3-dimensional design here. And the top of the door panel wraps into the dashboard. Then up at the top of the door here, you have your aluminum handle, some etched aluminum trim, followed by a speaker. Your window and mirror controls on the top. Then moving down, you have your 3-person driver's memory, lock and unlock, and some felt-lined door pockets. Moving in, you have your R Sport aluminum door sills. Please excuse the carpets and mats, they're dirty. Then you have your electric driver sports seat with a double top stitch, and then the upper portion that surrounds the headrest. Just a really good sporty looking seat. Shutting the door, you have a very solid door thunk. And here you can see the way that the door goes right into the top of the dashboard, and how the aluminum trim continues is a really good look. Now moving on to the steering wheel. Here we have Jaguar's Sport steering wheel, which is different than the steering wheel that you get on other Jaguars because it has the bolstering here and here. And then you have a little badge that says R Sport. Then on S models, it would say S or R on R models. On the left of the steering wheel, you have your controls for your screen between your gauges, your voice command, and your telephone control. Then on the right, you have your adaptive cruise control, heated steering wheel controls. Then behind the steering wheel, you have your paddle shifters, your turn signal stalk, your windshield wiper stalk. Then moving to the screen here, it's flanked by two very, very easy to read gauges, which I do like. Then you have a very high quality screen. Here you can scroll through all different settings in the car. You can choose your driver assistance, your trip computer, display settings, all that type of stuff. Then in the top left corner, you have your speed limit assist. Moving on to the dashboard of the XE, it is wrapped in leatherette with the double top stitch in light oyster. And then you have the aluminum trim, which goes all the way around the top of the dashboard with two tweeters on either edge. And then your heads-up display. Then in the center, you have a speaker with a Jaguar logo above it, which is a really nice detail. Moving down to the center here, you have two air vents with the Jaguar logo inside either one, then nice metal trimmed adjusters. Then just below that, you have Jaguar Land Rover's InControl Touch Pro infotainment system with 10 inches in size. It is very fast to response, lag is limited. You go through all different types of features in the infotainment system here. Here's your navigation with pinch to zoom. Go through your phone settings, valet mode. You can look at your cameras. 360 view this car has, and you can go through all different types of views over here to the left when the vehicle's on. At the bottom here, you can go into your seat heating controls that you can adjust 3-stage for the driver and the passenger. You have your contacts, your web browser, all different types of cool information. One cool feature is when you're within an application on the system, off to the left here, you have different dual screen modes that you can activate, which also work as hotspots. So when I look at my navigation, I touch that and it takes me directly to the navigation instead of me having to go to the home screen and swipe there. But also at the bottom here, you have 4 hotspots as well. This is your parking sensors, and then your active park control. When you press the active park control, the car can do parallel, perpendicular, and exiting for all of that parking. Moving down, you have your dual zone climate control with your fan speed, recirculating air, heated windscreen and rear windshield. Here's a seat button. It brings it up immediately. Your AC, max AC. And you have a 6-disc CD changer there. Down below, you have your auto stop start button, and then your volume control knob. Beneath that, you have a storage compartment, which is nice to put a phone or your keys. Then you have your gear shifter here. And when you start the car up, it rises up just like that. And you swivel through your gear modes, you push down and to the right for sport mode. When you put the car in reverse, the reverse camera and the 360 comes up, and then a 360 for your parking aids also shows up. Then when I move the steering wheel, the guidelines move as well. If we press camera here, I can select the camera views I want to see. So for example, there's my front and my rear camera, and then I can look out over my wheel well so I don't curb my alloys. So it's just a really good system. Then you switch it back in park. Then when you turn the car off, it swivels right back down. Beneath that, you have your drive mode selectors. You have dynamic, normal mode, eco, and snow and ice. Snow and rain. It's going from left to right. Then you have your auto stop start button. Then your traction control off button. You have your parking brake here. Then you have your off-roading cruise control. Like if you get stuck or you're going really slow on a gravel road and you don't want to drive the car can do that for you. Then you have your double cup holders right there. And the whole center console is outlined by this nice aluminum trim, which really brightens up the interior of the car. Storage wise, you have a nicely sized glove box here. It's not too big, not too small. You have 2 USB ports, a SIM card, a 12 volt, and an HDMI. So you have all types of connectivity. You have a very nice sized felt lined glove box. You know, I always have to have that microfiber cloth with all this gloss black on the center console, which is already dusty again. You have your owner's manual, but this is a really nice size though. Up at the roof console, you have your passenger airbag light, 2 speakers. You have your service button off to the left here. Then your SOS off to the right. You have your sunroof control and then your window shade control, which opens up just like that. Then your sunroof opens up like so. You have a little windscreen, and it all closes back together very simply. And then up top you have a sunglass holder, which is rubber lined, nice and soft. Of course, you have your 2 sun visors, which have LED lighting. Then your driver's side one is LED lighting as well. Let's go ahead and check out the rear of the car. In the back seat, it actually has the same material quality. Let's go ahead and sit in. Now, I am 5'11", 6 feet tall, sitting behind myself. And yes, my knees are just about touching the back of the seat. But really, when you sit down in the back of the car, it's not as bad as you think it is just from looking. You have 2 nice air vents, which also have the Jaguar logo in them, which is a nice piece of detail. 2 12 volt outlets so you can charge your phone. Then a nice storage compartment. Up above, you have 2 LED lights, which you can control like that. Then a little piece of ambient lighting. And then you have your center console here with 2 cup holders. Out at the trunk, you have a very nice sized trunk in my opinion for this class. It's nice and flat. The load level's not too high. And you can fold down the rear seats 40, 20, 40 by using these 2 pulls up top here. You have a 12 volt outlet over here off to the left, place to hang your groceries. On either side, a little bit of storage. And then beneath, you have your spare tire, which is painted in red. And up top here, you have 2 handles. You pull down, closes the trunk. Passenger side, you find the gas tank, which is premium gas. Passenger side of the rear. Then your passenger compartment. So let's go ahead and take this XE for a spin and hear how she sounds. All right, so taking off in the XE. Beautiful startup sound. All right. All right, so starting off here, we are in comfort mode in the XE. The suspension on this car is actually very, very nice. Going over these city and neighborhood bumps, you feel them, but they're not uncomfortable and they're not intrusive. It doesn't detract from the driving experience of the car, which is something I was concerned about on these 19-inch rims, and knowing that it has the sport package with the sport suspension, I was concerned that it would be comfortable. And also, as you can see, the transmission is nice and quick to shift. It's quick to downshift if you needed to when you're ready to go into sport mode and accelerate. But when you're just cruising, you're just in a good situation. And as you can tell, hitting those bumps is just fine. Also, the noise insulation in this car is incredible. It's nice and quiet on the highway when you're up at high speeds. It's nice and quiet around the city. It's just a great driving experience at low speeds as a whole. Let's go ahead and get up to speed here. As you can see, getting up to a little bit of highway speed here, the XE is no issue at all. The car is smooth. It shifts just the way you want it to. You never feel like you don't have control of the XE, which is one of my favorite things about the car. But just cruising at a nice speed here. I'm getting up to 60 miles an hour. It's going to get up to 75. That was no issue at all. Transmission settles back down. It's nice and quiet in here. Let's go ahead and put it in dynamic mode, in sport mode, and we'll see how she goes on the way back. On throttle. The XE absolutely takes off. Use the paddle shifters here. You have nothing to worry about. Like I said, complete control. Just feel the handling of the car. Absolutely beautiful. The steering wheel is great. I might say this is the most balanced car I've ever driven. I've driven a BMW 328i. I've driven a Mercedes C-Class. Just does not feel like this car. Beautiful handling. Oh, the grip of this car is amazing. Absolutely amazing. The paddle shifters, quick to shift. As you can see, good response. It's immediate. Then when you use the brakes are great in this car. Jaguars always have sensitive brakes, but I feel like they've done an awesome job with this car in just the tuning of the brakes, the calibration, everything is really spot on. You can really hear the exhaust and the supercharger whine in this car, which is one of my favorite things. Yeah, like I said, the handling is just there. At low speed, higher speed, it's really just there. Then up ahead, I have the heads-up display. It tells me the speed limit, what gear I'm in. Man, this thing is a rocket, an absolute rocket. An absolute rocket. And that's the XE, y'all. You can go right back in comfort mode just like that. The car settles down immediately. You do notice how much quieter it is inside the cabin here. The car shifts down and it just coasts. Nice and quiet, perfectly smooth. In my opinion, this car is one of the best, if not the best car in its class. Because I don't know another car that does what the XE does the way that this car does it. And has the luxury down. Beautiful leather seats, leather dash, quiet, good sound insulation. It has the looks down. Amazing looking car. You can say that it doesn't have the reliability down, but the Jaguar Land Rover has a 5-year, 60,000 mile prepaid warranty. So I wouldn't worry there. And then it has the performance. This car is very sporty. You are very much satisfied performance-wise in this car. You have nothing to worry about. Fuel economy is about on par with the rest of the class. I'm sure the 2-cylinder has better, 2-liter turbo has better fuel efficiency than I'm getting here. But you know, so be it. You get this sound, which you just can't get out the 2-cylinder. So I'd for sure recommend this car. The technology's up to date. You just cannot go wrong with this car, in my opinion. I'm just gonna wrap the video up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for the support, the great comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, comment, like the video. Have a great day, everybody.